Morning, Dave Kenworthy, 5th of the 12th, 2021. Today we're going to measure the length of the eclipse line. And I can tell you before we start, it's going to be 365,22222.222 recurring imperial inches. And when we multiply it by 43.2, we're going to get the modern measurement of the Earth's circumference, and that's 24901.515151 recurring imperial miles. And we know that the eclipse year on the NASA website is 18 years, and each of those years in days is 365.222 recurring days. So the length of the eclipse line is actually representing the eclipse year, but when it's multiplied by 43.2, it's representing the modern Earth circumference at its maximum. Now, the direction of the eclipse line is more likely to give us a polar circumference, which is lower than 24,901. But perhaps this is just a message to tell us that they knew. It's not 24,900. It's 24901.515151. That's what they're giving us. That's what the eclipse year is giving us using the new metrology. I've been through this in previous presentations, but this is the first time we've actually measured the length of the eclipse line, and this line is giving us a true message that these ancient people knew the size of the Earth, and they knew it exactly. And we know from Berryman's work that his theory is a geodetic theory, suggesting that whoever designed the imperial system knew the polar circumference of the Earth at least. Now, what I've suggested in the new metrology is these people used a standard measure, and it was 25,000 miles. And everything was based on that, connected with geodesy, these geodetic measurements. So, for example, they would have had the equatorial circumference at 24900, I'm sure. And they would have had the polar circumference at 24860. But Berryman gives us two versions of the meter that give us circumferences very close to that, but not quite. And they're both, one's on one side of the French measure and one's on the other side of the French measure. So we're absolutely spot on here. There's no argument about this. So I'm going to show you the length of the eclipse line. I've measured it this morning, and it's here. This is it. And there it is. 365,222.222 recurring inches. And it's 100,000 eclipse years it's representing. And if we zoom in, we'll get down to Hengistbury Head, where the measurement ends. And look where we are. I mean, we can even see where the measure finishes. It's just there, right in the middle of the spit. And there's a path there. So it finishes there on the path. So we can find different measures along this spit. We can go back. We can go back to 365.2. Could be somewhere. It's not much further back. It's still on the wall. That's more or less it. So 365.2 will give us a different Earth circumference. And we can go through that and see what it is. Well, the Giza base representing that will be 36520 inches, so we can work out the cubit. Divide by 1760. Cubit's exactly 20.75. And now we can work out the Earth circumference, because the Earth circumference in miles is the Egyptian cubit derived from the solar day multiplied by 1200. So we multiply that by 1200. And that's what they would have used for the Earth's circumference. It's absolutely spot on. 24,900. But the full measure of the Great Circle includes this 100 miles extra. And why have they done that? And the reason is because when they include 100 miles extra, the Giza base becomes this. .666 recurring. It has to be that. If you're going to predict eclipses, that's the base 100 length of the Giza base. And really, everything about historical metrology is encapsulated in this one eclipse line in the UK. There's so much metrological evidence in it that's absolutely spot on. And it's all on this wall and this path on Hengistbury Spit. So I'll stop there.